सत्र आयोजित हुए, अकादमिक सत्र, जिसमें श्री नंदन शास्त्री जी ने और डॉक्टर संजीव कुमार सिंह साहब ने अध्यक्षता की। और इन 2 सत्रों में डॉक्टर संजीव कुमार सिंह का बीज वक्तव्य प्रस्तुत किया गया और साथ ही डॉक्टर पीयूष रंजन साहू जी जो जगदलपुर से आए थे, उनका व्याख्यान एक्सेसिबिलिटी एंड इंक्लूजन पे यहाँ पे संपन्न हुआ। और दूसरे सत्र में श्री नंदन शास्त्री जी का व्याख्यान और उड़ीसा से पधारे डॉक्टर उमाकांत मिश्रा सर का व्याख्यान संपन्न हुआ है। जैसा कि आपको विदित है कि इस 2 दिवसीय अकादमिक सत्र में कुल 10 व्याख्यान शामिल किए गए थे, जिसमें 2 व्याख्यान नंदन शास्त्री जी ने स्वयं आग्रह किया था कि मेरे 2 व्याख्यान आप रखेंगे, दोनों दिन एक व्याख्यान मैं दूंगा। और उनकी वरिष्ठता, ज्ञान और अनुभव को ध्यान में रखते हुए हमने उनके आग्रह को स्वीकार किया था। और एक व्याख्यान जो इसमें छत्तीसगढ़ के इतिहास, पुरातत्व, संस्कृति, संग्रहालय विषय के जो सबसे वरिष्ठ जानकार माने जाते हैं श्री राहुल कुमार सिंह सर का भी शामिल किया गया था। लेकिन अफसोस की बात है कि उनके घर में गमी होने के कारण वे भौतिक रूप से इस संगोष्ठी में शामिल तो नहीं हो पा रहे हैं, किंतु जो प्रोसीडिंग प्रकाशित किया गया है विभाग के द्वारा, उसमें उनका भी आलेख शामिल किया गया है, जो छत्तीसगढ़ के संग्रहालयों में कथा कथन पर केंद्रित है। स्टोरी टेलिंग जो एक महत्वपूर्ण एस्पेक्ट होता है संग्रहालय का। आज तीसरे सत्र की अध्यक्षता के लिए मैं इस मंच पे पूरे सम्मान के साथ आमंत्रित करना चाहता हूँ प्रोफेसर एल.एस. निगम सर को। आप आएँ और मंच पर स्थान ग्रहण करें। और साथ ही इस सत्र में जिन वक्ताओं के व्याख्यान होने हैं उनको भी मैं क्रमशः आमंत्रित करता हूं। डॉक्टर हिरेन शाह साहब जो फाउंडर हैं हाउजियम के, और उनका व्याख्यान भी हाउजियम पे ही केंद्रित है। दूसरा व्याख्यान जो इस सत्र में होना है डॉक्टर अमित सोनी सर का, एसोसिएट प्रोफेसर हैं डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ म्यूजियोलॉजी के, ट्राइबल स्टडीज़ फैकल्टी जो इंदिरा गांधी नेशनल ट्राइबल यूनिवर्सिटी अमरकंटक में है। मैं आपको भी सर आमंत्रित करता हूं मंच पर स्थान ग्रहण करने के लिए। और तीसरे स्पीकर जो हैं इस सत्र की मिस रीना देवान मैडम, जो डायरेक्टर हैं ब्रिजिंग कल्चर एंड आर्ट फाउंडेशन कोलकाता में, और साथ ही बोर्ड मेंबर हैं आईकॉम इंटरकॉम के। और आपके और हमारे जो प्रभारी अधिकारी हैं संगोष्ठी के, आप दोनों के कोऑर्डिनेशन से ही ये सौभाग्य हुआ कि हमारा यह जो संगोष्ठी है वो आईकॉम इंटरकॉम के साथ जुड़ा हुआ है। उनके वेबसाइट पे अपलोड हुआ है और वैश्विक स्तर पे इसकी चर्चा हो रही है। इसके पहले कि मैं यह मंच अध्यक्ष महोदय को सौंपूं, मेरा दायित्व है कि थोड़ा सा परिचय जो है प्रोफेसर निगम के बारे में और आज के वक्ताओं के बारे में आप लोगों के समक्ष रखूं। बहुत से लोग आप लोगों में से ऐसे हैं जो प्रोफेसर निगम को व्यक्तिगत रूप से जानते हैं। मेरी ही तरह मैं भी उनको व्यक्तिगत रूप से जानता हूं क्योंकि मैं उनका विद्यार्थी हूं। और प्रोफेसर निगम एंशिएंट इंडियन हिस्ट्री, कल्चर एंड आर्कियोलॉजी डिपार्टमेंट पंडित रविशंकर शुक्ल यूनिवर्सिटी के HOD रह चुके हैं। और उसके पश्चात इक्फाई यूनिवर्सिटी और बाद में भिलाई में जो नया श्री शंकराचार्य प्रोफेशनल यूनिवर्सिटी बना उसके फाउंडर वाइस चांसलर भी रह चुके हैं। यह तो उनका प्रशासनिक परिचय हुआ। बेसिकली प्रोफेसर निगम की को जो लोग जानते हैं देश भर में, वो उनके एकेडमिक कंट्रीब्यूशन को लेकर के जानते हैं। छत्तीसगढ़ ही नहीं बल्कि देश के पूरे आर्कियोलॉजिकल, खास करके न्यूमिस्मेटिक स्टडीज़ में और हिस्टोरिकल ज्योग्राफी की स्टडीज़ में उनका काफ़ी बड़ा कंट्रीब्यूशन रहा है। और जो छत्तीसगढ़ की सबसे बहुचर्चित विश्वविख्यात प्रतिमा है ताला की रुद्र शिव प्रतिमा पे आपने एक इंटरनेशनल पेपर सेमिनार किया था जो रिडल ऑफ इंडियन आइकोनोग्राफी के नाम से एक किताब छपी है। और इस अकेली मूर्ति के ऊपर पूरे विश्व के जो कला इतिहासकार हैं, वरिष्ठ कला इतिहासकार हैं, उन्होंने चर्चा की है और काफ़ी ख्याति मिली है। उस कृति के माध्यम से आपने छत्तीसगढ़ के इस अमूल्य कला धरोहर को पूरे विश्व में उजागर किया है। हमारे बीच जो उपस्थित हैं डॉक्टर हिरेन शाह बेसिकली वो पीडियाट्रिशियन हैं, बच्चों के डॉक्टर हैं। और हमें बड़ा आश्चर्य हुआ कि मतलब न्यूमिस्मेटिक आर्कियोलॉजी में तो हम जानते थे बहुत से लोग जो आर्कियोलॉजी डिसिप्लिन के नहीं है फिर भी उसमें रुचि रखते हैं और बहुत अच्छा काम करते हैं, लेकिन पहली बार देखा कि एक जो डॉक्टर हैं वो इतना रुचि लेते हैं इस प्रकार के धरोहर को संजोने में, और उन्होंने हाउसियम की स्थापना की है, अपने घर को ही संग्रहालय में तब्दील किया है। और उस हाउसियम की ये जो अंतर्राष्ट्रीय संग्रहालय दिवस का थीम है फ्यूचर ऑफ म्यूजियम्स, इस कॉन्टेक्स्ट में व्याख्या करेंगे। हाउसियम के बारे में मैं ज़्यादा नहीं बताऊंगा क्योंकि उनका पूरा प्रेजेंटेशन इसी पे है, अतिक्रमण हो जाएगा। तो दूसरे जो वक्ता हैं हमारे बीच में डॉक्टर अमित सोरी जी, और ये हमारे लिए बड़ा सुखद है कि वो रायपुर के ही रहने वाले हैं, छत्तीसगढ़ के ही हैं, और बाद में ट्राइबल डिपार्टमेंट में और एंथ्रोपोलॉजिकल सर्वे में और अभी वर्तमान में अमरकंटक विश्वविद्यालय में अपनी सेवाएं दे रहे हैं, और म्यूजियोलॉजी और एंथ्रोपोलॉजी दोनों ही विषयों के जानकार हैं, और काफ़ी बड़ा उनका एकेडमिक ऑरा है, बहुत सारे उनके पब्लिकेशन हैं, काम हैं जो आपको इस पुस्तक में पढ़ने को मिल जाएगा। मिस रीना दीवान संभवतः पहली बार रायपुर में आई हैं, और एयरपोर्ट में उतरने के बाद जब मैंने कॉल किया तो मैडम का पहला इंप्रेशन ये था कि बहुत सुंदर शहर है। तो मैंने मैडम को आगाह किया कि मैडम इतनी जल्दी आप अपने कमेंट मत दीजिए, थोड़ा 2 दिन आप एक्सपीरियंस लीजिए इस शहर का, उसके बाद तो फिर आपसे हम फीडबैक लेंगे ही। और मैडम का जो आने का एक सार्थक प्रयोजन रहा कि म्यूज़ियम को इन्होंने अपने प्रयासों से इंटरकॉम के साथ जोड़ा, जिसके लिए हम आपके आभारी हैं। और इस संक्षिप्त परिचय के साथ ही मैं निवेदन करूंगा आज के सत्राध्यक्ष महोदय से कि आज के इस व्याख्यान सत्र को आरंभ करें। धन्यवाद।
नमस्कार। कार्यक्रम को विलंब न करते हुए के प्रथम वक्ता डॉक्टर हिरेन शाह जी को आमंत्रित करता हूँ कि वे आए और अपना व्याख्यान प्रस्तुत करें।
Namaste and very good morning to you all. Thank you, Pravat Kumar and Nigam sir for nice words of introduction. I'm thankful to the organizers for extending this warm invitation to come to Raipur and attend this seminar and talk on this Bohemian subject. I must congratulate the team of this committee of seminar for these wonderful arrangements, impeccable kind of a hospitality we have been extended. I really feel honored and humbled standing on this podium of such a prestigious and the oldest, one of the oldest, rather 9th oldest museum of India. This is our Mahant Ghasidas Memorial Museum. I also feel so excited to speak in front of you, the august audience, so learned people. I'm learning so much so from since yesterday in the audience and so from the personal conversations. So first seeking blessings of Ganapati Bappa, who is just next door here in our museum. Please allow me to start my presentation. The title and the paper or the presentation resonate especially well as we prepare to celebrate International Museum Day. It's the timely theme, Hausium, Beyond Museum, Toward Tomorrow. And the theme for this year is the future of museums in rapidly changing communities. The aim of my paper today is to explore how museum moves beyond the boundaries of a traditional museum and also to assess its potential as a dynamic and fluid museum space of tomorrow. Of course, I'll be my talk will center around Hausium. But interestingly, this year's official logo of International Museum Day takes on an organic and flexible form. We, as medical doctor or biologists, call it like the amoeba. It takes any shape and it fits in any space. Hausium, as you know, as been seen here, it's a blend of two words, house and museum. But there is more in it. The title itself carries a layer of cryptic calligraphy. If we remove these 4 strokes, and it transports virtually into a museum. The subtle wordplay reveals there is a deeper idea that museum is hidden within Hausium, suggesting both dual meanings and the layer interpretations. If you add these 4 strokes again become Hausium, but then the first question comes whether this house can be regarded as a museum. So if we go by the definitions, we all know the definition of museum, but then the basic 3 pillars of museum like collections, research activities and exhibitions. You will come to know that they all are how they are conducted here in Hausium. Same way there is a plaque in front or at the entrance of our house which itself says it's more than a museum. And then another statue next to it at the entrance only is of this Tumru Maharaj. It's worshipped in Karnataka as a celestial singer and storyteller. And my talk further, I'll take you through this presentation as a pictorial story through multiple slides, visuals, then there will be some animations and small clips. So where is Hausium? If you Google, I don't see many students, but if they start Googling, probably they will be taken to almost 4,200 miles away from this to Paris, next to Louvre Museum in a small lane on the 2nd floor, and that is Hausium Records. That is a very popular German music company which has created quite a craze amongst youngsters. Of course, you will be also brought to this place, Satyagraha Chowni, here in Ahmedabad. But somebody asked me, what is Hausium? I'll just give a single liner. It's the celebration of our rich heritage. It's a celebration of our rich heritage through curated collections and personal narratives. And I have chosen to structure my talk around the very word heritage, with each letter forming the heading of a section, H-E-R-I-T-A-G-E. Let's see how this unfolds to convey our central theme around Hausium and our beyond museum and the future potential. If you close this slide, then it will better be perceived. If you can close the slides. Is it possible? Okay, so H stands for, like to do something? तो ज़्यादा दिखाएगा slides. Yeah, like यहाँ भी. हाँ, यहाँ ऊपर भी लाइट्स. तो ताकि लोग देख सकें. So first H, letter of heritage, stands for house to Hausium. The stage of house to Hausium symbolizes a transient transformation, a unique example of curated space for heritage. But the construction of the house was also not less dramatic. It was based on the unusual concept. We are divided into 2 stages. House was constructed between 95 to 99, and the next stage since then is a continuous transformation from house to Hausium. So if you go back to 95, at that time we opted for a floor plan of a Vastu Purush Mandala, a big square, a grid of small 9 squares, and then open central courtyard, open to the sky. And elevation was something like this, which we were looking for. But we decided to use in making recycled wood. Not only that, but then the unusual concept was to have architectural salvage or the structural elements of the yesteryears, everything about 1800 years old, which was sourced from the dilapidated mansions, taken down Havelis, and then these columns, pillars, and then doors, windows, ceilings, jharokas, even electric appliances were sourced from outside. We brought them. They were not just part of, not to incorporate, but they were part of the central structure or the core of the house. And literally walls were built around them, and house came into existence at that time. It was quite a challenging process to scout, search, salvage the things. We collected from nearby in our city of Ahmedabad, and from there, even across Gujarat, neighboring states of Rajasthan, Maharashtra and Rajasthan, and even faraway places like Karaikudi and Kochi and Delhi. We got all these elements of structure from different parts, and then this core of the house was created, and then that was the kind of a process of mobilizing and fixing. But the outcome was quite satisfying. It was beautiful, colorful, eye-catching. All these structural elements fitted so well, they blended well, and then it was looking like an old Haveli, but then the central door is from south, and while windows are from the northern part of India, Haryana. And this central, this particular jharoka in the courtyard is 24 feet, is a center, making an interesting focal point. So house was almost, kind of a very mesmerizing, certain angles we could see there, and we are happy with that. So beautiful blend of tradition and modern utility. We never compromise with our, right up to automation, everything was there, but then the look was of the traditional house. But what started at home soon became much more. Once we moved in, we pursued our shared passion. Me and my wife luckily have that common interest of art and art collections of artifacts. Over the time, collection grew to almost now at the moment, there are more than 10,000 artifacts, and they have been spread over almost 10,000 square feet of area, transforming in every nook and corner, being represented by this kind of artifacts. May look cluttered for the people, but then so of course it was not a conventional house with so much stuff, artifacts. But it has a aura of some art gallery or museum, but it cannot be called standard museum because who lives or stays in museum? So in year 2003 we came with this particular title where we started saying it's beyond museum, it's a houseum. Process was there, it was gradually evolving, and then we needed more space. So there was an attic at the top of this house. We utilized that attic and then terrace around with the formalities with the corporation. We could add extra floor. We named it as enigmatic. It was a puzzle space and name reflecting the mystery and wonder within because it's a creative puzzle studio and a symbol of which evolve around our interest. Next 5 years we were successful in acquiring the next door land, and there also we could continue with making a similar kind of structure which is now a dedicated law museum. It was originally titled as a Houseum Next. Again it was wrapped in a cryptic calligraphy and extension, but then it is now gradually evolving its own identity. So this is again from it continues the same language of architecture. It looks something like this particular facade. But then all this throughout the journey, both my wife and I have played many roles apart from curators and collectors. As you can say that we are the planners, designers, even supervisors and contractors. But then it was quite a satisfying experience over the last so many years. We are enjoying this process. So that was about the house to houseum. Second letter in this particular word is E, which stands for exhibits and collections. Houseum takes pride in a rich spectrum of thematic collections. Each theme, each piece tells a unique story, blending beauty and functionality. Let me we begin one of the signature triads, locks, clocks and peacocks. It's a rhyming trio, but it's not by chance. There is very specific reason why these kind of collectibles are in the house. It has a very specific narrative also and embodies the spirit of Houseum. Of these locks, for which I am known more across India and more in Western world, and then I am collector of locks. For everybody asked, you are a doctor, as he first one asked me, or just I've shown his surprise that why, as a doctor, even in spite of doctor, I am doing all this. But then same question comes more because it's something a very technical subject from which we doctors are generally away. But in a single sentence, I can say it's the extension of my childhood love for the puzzles and for size, age and antiquity, some story or history related to it, rarity and complexity. It started coming into my fold, and gradually our collection grew to Museum Day. So likewise, this, I find this kind, I look at the lock and I find something there interacting with me. And incidentally, this same lock, it makes a part of my title of my collection, which is called Docs Locks. And then I'll be coming later about this, my lock museum, but that this is the title here. You can see my new place where we shifted the locks. About clocks, mystery of clockwork, because time is the most precious resource, something we realized more during making of Houseum. That was the era of 95 to 99, when we both were very busy with our work. Our children were growing, parents were aging, a lot of social commitments, and in spite of the heavy work in the hospital, we managed to build a house. So we realized how important is time, and to physical form of time is clock. So we started collecting and displaying clocks at the various levels. It's one niche where there are many chiming clocks are there. And then at every level, in every room, cabinets and tabletops and walls, you'll find more than hundreds this kind of clocks from the different make, different background, different mechanisms inside, and then from different countries like Japan, Germany, England, and USA especially. So this is something, time, our most precious resource, our biggest challenge, and this was the forerunner for our new term which we started coining, our 25th hour. It's a metaphorical term we use where we pursue our many other activities of interest and hobbies, like say travel. For example, for last 30 years, me and my wife take out time from our profession, and every year we 6 to 8 weeks travel to different places. Photography, I am a serious photographer. I travel these days and hold photography exhibitions in the galleries here in Ahmedabad and other places. I submit my photo essays and stories across the world. Puzzles, you'll come to know about that, blogging, collecting, and all these other interests, they come under one umbrella of our 25th hour. About peacocks, it was an extension of my, I see my mother doing Rangoli every now and then. All these years, she was with us till 3 years back, and at 90 years she passed, but then all these years she was doing Rangoli of peacock. That was her favorite subject. Again, it's a symbol of beauty and grace and color also. So we added these peacocks in the collection started. So you'll find this kind of iron structures, wooden brackets, even installations in the garden, even stone plaques having all these motifs of peacocks. And if you're lucky, probably a peacock may come and wave you hello when you enter there, because many peacocks they roam in our garden also. And inside the house, these are the utility objects of yesteryears, which are having shape of peacocks. There are almost more than 400 of this kind of peacocks in the form of metal or a porcelain, something like a embroidery work on the cloth or a polychromic wood, and even mother of pearl. So all these peacocks in the different forms, more than 400, they have been, he says, they are roaming in the houseum at many, many different levels and even from the ceilings. So people are curious about this particular hobby of collection. For somebody, this kind of object like trash is treasure for us, but they can't understand the craze of our collection. And of course, we are proud for our possession, but it's not just we bring them and hoard and pile up in the house. There is a definite method in madness. And most of these collections, they have been, as a curated spaces, they have been displayed across Houseum. So more than 25 thematic collections. Likewise, you can perceive at the, sorry. These are the 30 types of thematic collection displayed throughout the house and at various levels, and they transform house into literally living museum. For example, our living room is having hookah bases. Again, they are properly curated, classified, and then having specific kind of their descriptions from different parts of the world and what they are. Likewise, our dining room is having the teapots collected from across the world, and then these are the very typical blue pottery, cows, sacred animal in our puja room of different forms and patterns. You stand in any corner of our house, you will have darshan of Lord Ganesh. They are in again different forms. What I am showing are from our exteriors, which are even visible to one passing by on the streets. So, apart from theme, every other piece tells a unique story, blending beauty, functionality, and antiquity. So that was about the exhibits. Here I'll be talking on the relics. This makes a very strong part of our tangible heritage. In addition to thematic displays, the crumbling architectural fragments, damaged sculptures, or worn out utensils, they don't fit in any classified by themes, but then they are literally reborn in Houseum as integral parts. These relics are preserved and revived, sparking curiosity and appreciation for how these objects were used in the older context. The past is showcased in a vibrant presence in today's world. Whenever visitors come or we give a tour, we start from this foyer where we take you to the particular timepiece which really moves in anti-clockwise direction. And this is in the metaphoric way that we here in the Houseum, we take you back in time. And then especially for newer generation, certain structures they might not have seen. For example, this small red postal box. Now the new generation have to tell, especially in the urban cities like Ahmedabad, that this is a quiet reminder of a time when letters were tangible, handwritten, they traveled with the stamps and not with the bandwidth. And this physical mailbox is not like the virtual mailbox in our what we now use these days. And here the locks are real, not the passwords. And same way this rotary telephone, it's with a cord. So we take them back in time when we people were mobile. Living within architectural heritage, it's kind of a revival of a gone era. It's an eclectic mix of many architectural styles. As shown, this front facade, it's a typical 1920s British colonial house. All these elements and pediments, they were taken seriously from the textbooks. Likewise, the new part which has come up is a representation of the Gujarat's typical coal house. You will find in the central Gujarat. And then we could procure this particular facade from one house which was taken down during the earthquake and then reassembled and added certain things. These tribal doors are from the Central Asia. I could collect so many last 5 years and then made this particular assembly hall and this kind of decor for the particular cabinets and other things. Entrance to this, my locked museum is this grand Islamic pattern door. Likewise, these Byzantine columns, they are the threshold of our kitchen. And the Chettinad's South Indian door is a part of the Cabinet by Law collection. So this way, you can find like this collection as a pages from the history. Together, this structure turned Hausiam into a living anthology of the Indian architectural traditions. Even no space is spared. Even bedrooms are filled with these collections. So is our bathrooms. They have different collections. Say, for example, here you can find Jaipur pottery. Like all these bathrooms, they have different kind of some or other collections. Even kitchen having old utensils to the Holland pottery. So that way, all these I spoke about was relics, and now I stands for intangible heritage and culture. Hausiam is after all a house which keeps customs and traditions alive, and hence it's a living place, and it shows up or livens up the intangible heritage. So through daily rituals, spiritual practices, celebrations, it provides window into the soul of the cultural past. Yes, all these traditions, they come alive there, like daily worship rituals in the puja room, or celebration of festivals like Diwali, Navratri, Ganesh Chaturthi, or special days celebration like some birthdays or special some occasions. And then we all know that many parts of our culture and heritage are intangible. You are more aware about this than me, that songs and music, dance and folklore, skills and cuisine, games and crafts, faith and festivals, all these make a part because they cannot be touched, they cannot be stored in the physical form, but yet experienced through stories, conversations, and media giving expression.